Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel.
We're the Dawnties.
My name's Rochelle.
I'm your favorite Donna. Gonna give yourself whiplash.
And today we're going to talk about our top 3 favorite books that we've read in January. So every month we like to talk about our top 3 favorite books we read for that month. Just because we read so much and there's 2 of us, we don't do full wrap-ups. We just mention the ones that we really, really enjoyed above all the others. So do you want to go first this month?
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna go first with The Blinds.
Ooh.
I gave this one 4 stars. And this one, it's kind of like, think witness protection program, except there's they go to this place in Texas, and it's like all of these people at this place are like part of the witness protection program, except their memories have been wiped clean.
Oh.
They don't remember what they did that got them there.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
This is one I've been wanting to get, and I found it at Half Price Books in the Book of the Month edition. So I do own it. I just haven't gotten around to it. And I'm excited to know that you liked it, because that means I'll probably like it too.
Yeah, I gave that one 4 stars.
Awesome. All right, so the first book I want to talk about is The Perfect Family by Robin Harding. This is a thriller, and this is a domestic thriller, but we're following this family, mom, dad, son, daughter, and they all have secrets.
Well,
and
everybody's got secrets.
Everybody's got secrets, but they got some whoppers. And so the mom and dad both have their own secrets that are kind of questionable. And then the son, I think he's like 19 or 20. He's come back from college, like on break, and he has a secret. And then the daughter, who's in high school, has a very scandalous secret. And this family is starting to get harassed, vandalized. They get stuff thrown at their house, like just a whole bunch of things happening. And the way this story is told, we get all 4 character perspectives throughout the story.
And they all think that it's happening because of their secret.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because no one else, they don't think anyone else has a secret like theirs. And I really enjoyed it. It's been a while since I've really enjoyed a domestic thriller. And this one was so fun. I was so invested. I loved all of these characters and like how they're kind of woven together. And of course, that ending is just wow. I really, really liked this one.
Knight's Edge. And we've seen a lot of this one on BookTube and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the very first chapter is very short, but it sucks you in immediately in the first...
The first sentence is mind-blowing.
The first sentence.
Tell me more. It is a horror novel, just FYI.
I'm hungry, and it's 2 a.m. The fridge is empty, and Mom is dead on the couch.
Dun dun dun!
Like, you think, like, some authors have, like, really banger first lines, like, always. This is a debut. And the way this story goes, it's about vampires, and you just gotta read it. It's so good. It's really short, too, but the way this ends, there will be a second book that I'm very excited about. But this one, like she said, we've heard from so many people that they loved this, and because of that first line, I was intrigued but kind of scared because it's horror. And I'm very particular about the kind of horror that I like.
It can't be too spooky. It can't be too spooky, too gory.
This was very interesting. It's really about this mother and daughter and how they navigate life. From the opening line is when our main character is 10. And then we see her life now as like 20, 21, 22-ish. She's in her early 20s. And what her life has been like with her vampire mom for the last 10, 12 years. So
yeah, it's good. I gave that one 5 stars.
I did too. I loved it. All right, the next one I want to talk about is a mystery thriller, kind of one of those. This is the 6th book in a series, but this one I absolutely loved. So this is Her Silent Cry by Lisa Reagan. This is part of the Detective Josie Quinn series, and I think there's like 18 books. But every book that I've read has felt very episodic, and you're following this one detective. You get to know her. The first book is really eye-opening, and then sprinkled throughout the other books and cases that she's on, you get to learn more about her, and I really like this detective. But this book in particular is about a case that happens right in front of Josie. She's at the park, with kids running around at a playground park, and while she's there just hanging out, not even on, like, duty, a child goes missing, And so she's right there. She's able to jump right on it. And she's kind of somewhat famous in this little town of Denton.
Not Denton, Texas. But Denton, Texas. But Denton.
And so people recognize her. They want her on the case because she's so good and blah, blah, blah. This was just really good. This one has stood out to me so far of the 6 that I've read. This one is my favorite. And it was just... It just goes. It's very quick. They're short reads. I mean, I really enjoyed this series.
My last one, another 5-star.
Okay.
This one is called The Skeleton Key by Erin Kelly. And I read it on my Kindle. I read all of mine on my Kindle, but she had copies of these.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
But anyway, here's The Skeleton Key. And so this one, so it's all about a book that this guy wrote many years ago. That had like a treasure hunt in it.
Ooh, okay.
And yeah, and 15, 20 years later, all of the treasure hasn't been found. And so he decides that he's gonna write a second book and finally give away the last hiding spot for this treasure. But it's really good. It's got a lot of stuff in it that makes it a thriller. It's not just a treasure hunt book.
This really sounds like Ready Player One, which was one of my favorite books of all last year.
But instead of a book, it was a video game.
It was a video game.
Yeah. So, but no, this is all about a family, and because of the way the book is written, and because it's you're collecting pieces of a skeleton, all while his youngest daughter is growing up, people like try to get her because they think she is the last piece of the treasure. Okay. So that's what kind of makes it a thriller.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's good. I really liked it.
That sounds like something. You gave it 5 stars?
I did.
I'm probably going to try to find it and read it myself. All right, so the last book I want to talk about is one, you've got to listen to the audiobook.
The audiobook, okay, the real book is only like this.
It's
but
280 pages.
The audiobook was how many hours?
17. And I actually just bought this today at Barnes & Noble. It was half price, and it's a signed edition, so I bought it, and it is Leslie effing Jones by Leslie Jones.
The audiobook for this one is awesome.
It is so awesome. Even, like, the copyright, intelligent infringement stuff at the end that she has to read is hysterical. So this is Leslie Jones's memoir, and I didn't know a lot about her. I just know that she's funny, and I love watching her. And boy, does she not disappoint with this. You get to know her a lot kind of growing up. There's tons of laughs. And there's some tears, of course, like with any person's story. But hearing her recall these stories and hearing her inflections and her getting into characters, whenever she's talking about characters she played on SNL, working with Melissa McCarthy and like all these other famous comedians, it is hysterical. And I just loved listening to this. And I was kind of intimidated because I'm like, wait a second, this is less than 300 pages. It should be like a 7 or 8 hour audiobook, but it was 17. Why?
Because she'll start a story and then she'll go, I don't even know if I put this one in the book, but here we go.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I love about celebrity memoirs, and they narrate their own audiobooks. They do put in a lot of extra things that they don't have in the book or that can't come across in the book. Like Alicia Keys actually was playing the piano
on
and
hers.
singing
in
the audiobook, but it obviously could not translate into the physical book. Kim and Penn, the Holderness family book, their book, they did a lot of riffs and like just making up stuff on the fly in the audiobook.
The Last Black Unicorn, Tiffany Haddish.
I read that with my eyeballs. I want to listen to her tell that
I
story.
listened to Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah, and I read that a few years ago, so I wasn't really into audiobooks, but any celebrity memoir, if they narrate their own book, I highly recommend listening to them because no one can tell their story quite like they do. But this is hysterical. This is 5 stars. I love Leslie Jones, and this was so funny. And, okay, so we're watching football, or I'm watching football.
She's watching football.
And it's very serious because it's a very intense game. Over here, every 2 minutes, cackling like no other. And I'm like, this is a serious moment, and you're just laughing. But it was so good. It was so good.
It was good.
Alright, so here is a look at our top 3 favorite books we read in January. Leave a comment down below. Let us know if you have read any of these or if any of these sound good to you. And what was your favorite book that you read in January? Because we're always looking for recommendations. I'll read pretty much anything. Pretty much.
It can't be too spooky.
Not too spooky. I don't know. Grady Hendrix is my favorite horror author, and he has some spooky
He
stuff.
does get kind of spooky.
But anyways, that's it for us today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.
Bye.
Bye.